Today I'm going to answer very good question. It has been asked in our Telegram group, and someone was asking, how much money do I need to have to start my life in America? Either currently I'm the DV lottery winner, or I just applied for the DV lottery and I believe I'm going to win. So I just want to prepare my mindset, and in terms of the resources, how much do I need to have to be able to start the life in America? And it has been a very good question. And here and there we just usually say, oh, it depends on the state, it depends on this one. But on this video, I want to break down so that you can see what cost you need to have or to think about, and how will that be able to impact your resources, like how much you need to have. Welcome everyone, this is Ernest Boniface Makulu EBM talking to my home office here in Belton, Missouri, United States of America. I know there are the V2020 winners who haven't received their visas yet, but I have a good news for them that their visas are still preserved by the court order which have recently been given out. So their visas continue to be processed. Even those who didn't get the visas because of the travel ban, they'll also continue to be given their visas. The V2021, they are going very soon. I'll have the video about how soon we are going to get them to start getting the interviews. Possible with the suspension ending, or possible the lawsuit, but also the DV 2022 coming up. So there are so many people anxious and waiting, or they are preparing themselves. Right now, I'm planning to go to the United States of America to start my life. But you have no clue. How do I need to start my life in America? How much money do I need to have? What kind of resources do I need? It is a big thing. It was not a big thing for me when I was coming to America. Why? I just finished my bachelor degree, I have my bag, I have full scholarship ticket paid for, visa paid for. I arrived from the first day, I was given a place to stay, 1 week in Stanford, having orientation, getting another flight, go to West Virginia, start my new life, given the apartment to stay, and that life continues. So my start was different. But if I remember now I'm looking back 12 years ago, if I'm looking back, what if I had to figure out all this kind of cost up front? What will that be? How much do I need to have? So I know there are some people who are coming here single, on their own. There are some people come husband and wife. There are some people come husband and wife and kids. So all those things are very, very critical to know about it. So let me start. There are costs which you need to do or to know before even getting to the flight to come to America. You have to pay these costs in your country. And then there are costs which you need to pay attention, those kind of costs from day one after arriving in America. So there are two costs. I'm going to separate them, like the cost before getting into the flight and the cost after arriving at the port of entry. So those are two costs you need to have or to consider. And in order to go with that one, I'm going to ask you a few things from you. Number one, as you know, we are in the objective, and the annual goal for the year, this year, is to make sure that we are going to reach 100,000 subscribers. I beg you and I ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel in case you have been watching these videos without subscribing. I know over 48% of viewers of my YouTube channel are not subscribers. So if you're one among, just do that. Click the subscribe button over there. You can subscribe, which can give me more energy to continue. The goal, I want to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But also remember to like the video. Once you like the video, YouTube is forced to share my video, to recommend my video to so many other people. So just like the button. Even if you don't comment, just like the button, subscribe and like. Like all my videos. They are going to be recommended to so many other people. That is how you can give me energy to buy the lights, to buy everything, and to be able to come here with all these kind of materials. So let's go on. Let me start. Okay, you have won the DV lottery. Now what? There are costs you need to have to pay attention. Yes, there is filling the DSC 260 and all those kind of things. But one, the immediate cost you need to have. because the good thing about this year, I mean, from DV 2021, whatever, was you must have the passport. So if someone is applying, hopefully the passport is valid up to the moment. So unless otherwise you are married and your spouse doesn't have the passport, the children don't have the passport, so there is no problem. You must have the passport. So that is the cost you need to have. I cannot give you the dollar amount. How much is that? It depends on country to country. There are countries the passport cost can be $50. There are countries passport can be $100, $150. I do not know. You have to figure that with you. If your passport is about to expire, you need to get the newer one. Get your new one for yourself. If you have to get it for your spouse and the children, because even if the child is 1 day old, you cannot travel from your country outside the country, and especially get into the flight to come here without having the passport, because where are they going to put the visa stamp? It has to be on the passport. Because I'm saying that way because someone from, I think it was from Ghana, if not Liberia, asked me that question. His daughter is about 1 week old and is the DV lottery winner. What is he supposed to do? Does he need to have a passport? So the answer is yes. You cannot get the visa without a passport. So cost number one, passport. Write down there and figure out how much is that if you need to get the passport. The other bigger expense is medical clearance or medical check. So whatever country you are, there is a minimum amount for the medical fees or medical costs. This one is average about 400, but it can go to 500. But in most cases, about 400 US dollar, or it can be 450 or 500. So you can think about minimum is 400, or you can go at a higher dollar amount is 500. That will be the cost for the medical. I'm giving this calculation per one person. There are costs I will say, this one doesn't matter how many you are, but this is the cost per one person. So if you're one person, you know you have to do medical, about 500. That's number one. But two, you need to have a passport. So if you and your spouse, that means 500, 1,000, and the passport, you see, is up to you. Then there is the issue of the visa fee. The visa fee is paid in a US dollar amount on the day of the interview. So let me give the interval on when you need to have this kind of money. Medical. The medical you are supposed to do before the interview. So once they go to send the second notification for you to go to the visa interview, so usually they give up to 6 weeks. So at least very, very small amount will be 4 weeks. And I'm saying 4 weeks because now they'll be doing a lot of scheduling interviews back to back because of the time. So for that case, they might give notification within 4 weeks. But in most cases, they give you 6 weeks for you from the notification that you schedule for the interview until the interview date. So because of that, so within those of time, you have to do the interview at least 7 to 10 days before the interview, so that you need to have the results before you go to the interview. So that's number one thing you need to know. This cost, you'll need to have the medical fee before you go to the interview. On the day of the interview, you have to pay for the visa fee. The visa fee is 330 US dollar. So if you are one person, you have paid on your own the passport fee. If you are one, you are single, no child, whatever, you pay about 500 for the medical, and you pay 330 for the visa interview fee. You pay on the day of the interview by cash. Not credit card, not debit card. Maybe because of the COVID now, they might say you have to pay online. I don't know, but at the moment, the regulation is you have to pay by cash on the day of the interview. Different from non-immigrant visas, which you have to pay on the bank or through mobile system set up by the particular country before you go to the interview. But this one, you have to pay on the day of the interview. 330. So even if, again, you have a child of 1 day old, still, that child will be given the visa. You have to pay the same amount for the visa fee. So this one can go higher if you are married, and it will depend on the number of dependents. How many children are you coming with? So you need to add those numbers for you. Then, after giving the visa, after the interview, you are told to come here after 1 week or 2 weeks to get your passport with the immigrant visa, green card visa. once you're told that way, you'll be given a piece of paper to pay for what they call green. It's just like USCIS fee. Like there is another process to get the actual card itself. The 330 is to get the visa. Then there is a fee to get the actual card itself. It's just like this way. There is a fee for me to apply and pay to process for me to become a US citizen. After becoming a US citizen, I'm given the naturalization certificate. But if I need a passport, I have to pay to get the actual passport. There's a passport card and there's the actual passport book, the book itself, and there is a card. So the card is just like, let me show you my card. So there is a passport card which is it's just like exactly like the same passport information from the passport, but is in the card, just like a green card, but is for the US citizen. So for me, for instance, when I'm traveling, I usually don't go or walk around with my passport. Oh, I don't know where I put my card now. So, yeah, so this is the card. So I want to show you. So this is the actual passport card. So exactly my information, which is on the passport, is on this one. So when I'm traveling, instead of walking with my passport everywhere from the hotel, I go with the card to prove that I'm a US citizen. If something comes up, they have the similar document. So you have to pay, even if you want this card, but it's cheaper. It's just like $20, I think. And the actual passport is like 100 and something, depending on how long do you want. But so in order to get the actual green card itself, you have to pay for the USCIS fee. That fee is just, we call it the green card fee, is about 210, 220 if not mistaken. So you have to pay that one. That one, there is a flexibility. You can pay right away after being given your card, being given the visa. You can pay that one before you travel to come to America. You can pay that one even after arriving in America, even a month later. But you will not be given the actual card until you pay that fee. Get me clear of that. You'll be given the actual card until you have paid that amount. So if you pay before coming here, which I advise to do that, that means once you arrive in America, you'll be able to get the card within a very short time. Meaning, by short time I mean maximum a month. But if you come and pay while you are already here, it will take a little bit longer, maybe 6 weeks or 2 months, whatever. But not having the actual card doesn't affect you from having a job. Because once you arrive here in America, direct, because your visa is immigrant visa, your visa allows you to work from day one. But in order to work, you have to get a social security card or social security number. So you'll go to a social security administration with your passport. They will see a passport with the immigrant visa. Which immigrant visa is the permanent resident visa. Then the Social Security will process the Social Security number and give you a card within 10 to 14 days. So you can start working right away, even if you don't have the actual card. So it's up to you. If you are not having enough money at the moment, you don't need to pay that one. So that is something I recommend. If you know you don't have enough money, and let's say you are 5 people, you and your spouse and 3 kids, 5 people, to say I have to pay like 1,000, I don't have that money right now. Let me go to America first and I will start working and I will pay while I'm already there. You can do that. It doesn't affect your status while you are here. But the problem is, if you are 5 again, 1,000 is a lot of money here in America, because every amount of money you get, you are going to pay for bills. So sometimes to get expense of 1,000, if you have a possibility of paying before coming, it will help a lot to start and cover a lot of unnecessary expenses while you are here. So that is another expense before coming here. The USCIS fee, or the green card fee, which is about 200, 220, you have to pay either before or after arriving here, or whatever, even a month later, you can pay while you are here. So that is something. The other cost might be the police clearance record. It depends on the country. There are countries they do for free. There are countries you have to pay maybe $5, $10, $50, I don't know. So that is another cost you need to consider. But there are other costs you need to pay attention before you come here. Is the US Embassy in your city? For instance, if you are Ugandan, the DVLOTTERY visas for Ugandans are not conducted in Uganda. They're not doing at the US Embassy in Uganda. You have to go to Nairobi. So if you have to go to Nairobi and you do not know anybody, you have to go there, and you know that there will be a cost of transportation to go to Nairobi. There will be a cost of staying in the hotel for a couple of days because you have to do the medical, you have to do your interview. So you can be there for a little bit, a couple of weeks, if possible. Or you want to go there and come back and go back, is up to you. So those are the things you need to consider, the other associated costs. Or if you're coming from one city, let's say you are from Kumasi and the interview is in Accra, in the US Embassy, or you are in Tanzania, you are in western part Kigoma, and you have to go to Dar es Salaam at the US Embassy. So there are those kind of things you need to consider. There are some of transportation costs from your city to another city, or from one country to another country. Or if you are currently live in another country, let's say now you are in UAE, you are working in UAE, or you are working in Qatar, or you are working in Lebanon, but you are originally from one country, maybe in Asia. You are originally from one country in Africa, or you are originally from one country in South America. So obviously, and you are planning to connect with your family to have interview together. So there will be other costs associated. So that will be case by case. I cannot tell you how much you need to have at that particular situation. The other cost, these are the costs after. So you finish, those are the costs before you come to America. You do everything before you come. Now you have your visa. Now you have, I mean, apart from that, you have a visa and everything. It comes with the cost of ticket, because that is before you come here. So the ticket, it depends which country you are from. Someone in West Africa, the ticket will be cheaper, possible, from someone from maybe southern Africa, southern part of Africa, or East Africa. Someone in Europe will have a shorter distance, and the shorter flight can be maybe, let's say, $400 US. Maybe from New York. You are, first of all, it depends which country are you from. That's number one. But which state are you going? Are you arriving here in America? So if you are going to East Coast, it will be cheaper. If you're coming to West Coast, it will be a little bit more expensive, because it is a longer trip to go to West Coast. So all those kind of things will be able to play part. And again, are you going to purchase a one-way or two ways? Going to return. In most cases, people are buying one way because you are coming here permanent resident. So even if the ticket is a little bit different, going to return, whatever, but still, one way is cheaper than going to return. Though there is an advantage of getting going to return if you are planning to go back within a year, for instance. But so it depends, and it depends also when you are purchasing the ticket. If you purchase the ticket today, when are you going to travel? Remember, once you get the DVLOTTERY visa, they give you a visa today. You have 6 months to travel. So are you purchasing the ticket today and you're traveling next week? The ticket will be expensive. Are you traveling during the summer, or you're traveling during the winter? Those things will be able to play part on the price of the tickets. But in general, the tickets will depend, is from $600 to $2,000, depending on the season you are purchasing, the duration between the day you are purchasing, the day you are traveling, the city you are, the state you are arriving here in America. You need to consider all those factors. I remember one time I purchased the ticket, going to return from Kansas City to Dar es Salaam and coming back for $600 US. I purchased for the entire family. We are planning to go last year for vacation. I purchased the ticket 8 months before I travel. I purchased the ticket in October, and then we traveled. We are planning to travel in May. So it was like 7, 8 months before. So the ticket were just about $600 instead of purchasing $2,000 and maybe $2,500, because I was traveling with the United Airline, Swiss Air, or sometimes you can get on Delta, which is KLM also. So those are the costs you need to know. So the ticket will be that expensive. But if you're a child, you have a child under the age of 2, you can carry your child, you pay halfway instead of paying for the full ticket. So after doing those kind of things, now you are arriving in America. What are the costs you need to consider? The biggest factor which is going to determine everything is the host in America. I'll have a separate video to explain what will be the relationship between you and your host here in America. Because sometimes you might have a contract. Someone will say, okay, I want you to come here. Don't worry about rent. You will stay here for free, maybe for 6 months, or you stay for free for 1 year. There are some people of that nature. So if you are going to stay with someone for 1 year, Obviously, you have to contribute, maybe they paying the bills, whatever. But if someone gives you that way, it reduces the amount you expected it to have. So number one, be clear with your host. How long will I stay at your place? Just at the beginning. Don't come here assuming you are in Africa and someone maybe is here is expecting to be paying the rent and you didn't discuss that one. So you have to discuss whether you are going to be rent-free or you are going to pay the rent. Or you can be able to contribute for the utilities. Or you are going to be there for free regardless of everything. So if you know those kind of things will be able to play a big part. Or someone can say, okay, come here, food and the place to stay is for free for the first 3 months. So that means that is a big relief. You can know how much do you need after that. So few things you need to consider is the rent. So let's say you are coming from day one, maybe after 1-2 weeks you have to find your own place to stay. Or you are coming here, within a month you have a place to stay for free, then you have to find your rent. So the rent, it depends again on the state. Are you going to California? Are you going to New York? Are you going to Hawaii? Are you going to DC, Maryland, Virginia, Northern Virginia? Those are the things you need to consider. So if you have hosts of 2 different states, please consider the states which are affordable. Don't come with the mindset, oh, I'm going to New York City. We're just jumping around like a crazy person that you think that, oh, being in New York City, that means so many opportunities, you will be top of the world. No. Being in Los Angeles, being in San Diego, being in Chicago, being in LA, being in Boston is nothing. All you are in America, that's what matters. If you can be able to afford the life here, that's most important. McDonald's is McDonald's. It doesn't matter whether you're in New York, whether wherever you are. KFC is KFC. Walmart is Walmart. Target is Target. So don't complicate. Go to a normal, affordable state and start your life in a normal state. Because if you are talking about New York, 1 bedroom you are paying $1,500. In California, the same situation, for instance. So if you're going to pay $1,500, but if you come to Missouri, you go to Ohio, you go to Texas, $1,000, you can have 3 bedroom. So if you have a family, you and your spouse and 3 kids or 2 kids, where should you go? Should you go to New York, you have 2 bedroom, or you need to come to Kansas or Missouri, or you go to Ohio, you go to Oklahoma, you go to South Dakota, North Dakota, all these Texas, wherever no more affordable state, you'll have a bigger space and more affordable can you be able to do. Most of these jobs to start with $10, $15, $18 per hour is almost all the states. So don't go to be stressed out just by the names of the state or the name of the cities. You think that will be cooler to tell someone I live in New York City. So number one is the location, the state you are going, the city you are going. It will determine the amount. So if you have the affordable, so I usually tell it can be 1 bedroom, it can be from 400 to 2,000 average, depending on the state. Most like 500-600 per month to 2,000, depending on the state you live. Most of the Midwest state, 2 bedroom can get for 600 to 800, very beautiful, a nice neighborhood. You can get that one. Or yeah, 600 to 800, you can get a very nice apartment. But if you go to California, 2 bedroom, we're talking about 2,000 at least, or 1,700. Yeah, so that's number one. Number two, you need to do the transportation. Do you need to purchase a vehicle at the beginning, or you can be able to rent a vehicle, or you can be able to use public transportation? So if you're in the big cities, there's the advantage, like in New York, you don't need to have a vehicle. But if you're in smaller cities, yeah, you can use public transportation, but it takes longer. And the vehicle here is not that expensive like when our countries, for instance, in Africa, because they ship a car from China, or whatever, Japan, it comes to your country, someone you pay for that transportation. You are going to pay for all those fees. So that's, but here you can get even the vehicle for 500, 1,000. It's not going to be a good car, it's a normal car to survive, to start the life with. $2,000, you can get a car to start your life for at least 6 months, a year, while you are getting your life together. So there is the issue of food. So transportation, you have to consider that one. There is the issue of food. Food is very affordable if you cook. You have to be cooking. Chicken, beef, chicken is cheaper. Pork is cheap. Gizzards, kidney, whatever, all those kind of things are cheaper. But steak is very expensive. So you need to know those kind of things. Then there are utilities, electricity. You need to have a phone. You need to have internet. All those things are basic because you have to find the jobs. All those kind of things, interviews, all those kind of things at the beginning. Then there is the issue of health insurance in between coming up. But overall, if I want to say, will be this way. So the average, before I put the other household goods you need to have, but the average for living per month, if you are single, it can be 1,000 to 2,000 depending on the city, how you start your life on a monthly basis. So if you are living in one bedroom apartment and you pay 500 you can be able to squeeze because you are starting the life. You don't live the standard of America yet, but you can be able to survive. But if you get 2,000, that's much better. You can be able to survive even better. Even if you can have 2-bedroom and be able to survive with 2,000 when you are starting the life, especially in the normal affordable states, not in New York. That in New York, 2,000 you're going to pay for the rent alone, or in San Diego, or just like in Los Angeles. So those are the things you need to consider. But again, how if you are going to rent a place, most cases there are no beds. So you need to have some of the household goods. You can start with the air mattress. You just purchase $50, $60, $100, whatever. Just like you put the air, you sleep in until you get settled. So you can be able to run around. You can buy some used stuff from the second-hand stores, Goodwill, those Salvation Army areas, utensils, whatever. You can buy those kind of things affordable to start your life first of all. So at least, for my advice is when you come, whether you have someone is going to give you a rent-free area, whether you don't have that, at least have the decent amount of money to survive in that particular state for at least 3 to 5 months. So if you are single and you have 6,000, that is a good start. If you are married, just 2 people, at least 10,000. For 3 months, I'm just talking, if you can have a certain amount to start for 3 months, just assume like everything you are going to pay on your own for the first 3 months. That will give you a peace of mind to find jobs, to get whatever. If things take a little bit longer, you can be able to survive without kind of stress. So this you have to know, there are costs before arriving you have to cover, which is a lot, and there are costs after arriving. And especially, at least, when I'm saying 3 months, if you cannot, at least have the backup of at least 2 months. Because the first month, you can say you don't have a job yet. Because the first 2 weeks, you are trying to get Social Security, and now, with the COVID, maybe it will delay, all those kind of things. It can take 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. So, that means the first month, you might not have a job yet, if that's possible. So then it comes to the second month. And it comes to which month did you arrive in America? Did you arrive here in the month of winter and in the winter state? So that will be able to affect you on how are you going to the job. Do you use public transportation? How? If there are so much winter. You cannot just come here and you just start driving crazy on the winter. So there are so many things that you need to consider when you are going. If you're coming on the spring, summer, fall, still it's good because you can have time to adjust yourself on so many things. So those are some of the things to consider when it comes to how much do you need to have to start processing, how much or what type of things or items you need to consider when you are going to start your life. I'll have a video on how to get a job quickly if you come here. There are ways on how you can use agents. There are ways you can be able to go to the local store directly on your own. There are what kind of website, a trusted website to get the job quicker. So all those kind of things I will be able to share with you in other videos. So let me end up this particular video here, and I believe you'll be able to get something from this particular video and to have a very pleasant start of your life in America if you come here. Whether you come as a green card holder, whether you come here as H1, you are coming here under a work visa. But yeah, even if you come as a student, if you don't have scholarships, so there are things you need to consider yourself, because you don't assume that you come in today, tomorrow you are going to get a job, or they give you all the money. No, it doesn't work that way. So those are the few things I want to share with you with regard to how you can effectively start your life with the consideration of the cost. The DV lottery winners, and even non-DV lottery winners, the cost of before might change from person to person based on the reasoning of coming here. The visa fee might be different, or you don't need to pay for green card fee if you are not coming for the green card. You come as H1 visa is different process, or you are coming here as a student is a different process. So those are the beginning things to consider yourself before you come here. So thank you so much, everyone. Remember to like the video. Once you like the video, you are forcing YouTube to go